4 people were shot early this morning at a Clarksville apartment complex, the youngest only 15 years old. It's our top story here at 6:30. I'm Alex Dieterer. Clarksville Police Chief Nathan Walls says officers responded to the Bend Apartments around 12:30 this morning to reports of a shooting at a party. Chief Walls confirmed 4 people were shot and sent to the hospital, some as young as 15.
It appears to be somewhat of a shootout. So we're thankful. This could have been a lot worse.
Our Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester join us now from Clarksville. And Clarice, this shooting happened less than 24 hours ago. You've been out at the apartment complex. How are the residents feeling after the shooting this morning?
Well, Alex, they're still pretty startled about what happened. One told me they were awoken by the sound of gunfire and screams. Residents said they heard someone screaming for an ambulance, saying they had been shot. Clarksville Police Department said when they got on scene, there was a lot going on and kids were running everywhere. They say that there was alcohol and drugs at this party, and they estimate about 100 people went in and out of the apartment throughout the night. They told us that some of the bullets went through another apartment and out a side screen door. That left some residents feeling uneasy.
I mean, who's to say it can't happen to my next door neighbor or, the people living underneath me or anything? Like, the walls here are pretty thin, enough to be soundproof, but definitely not bulletproof.
One resident told me there's a party at that same apartment almost every Friday, and police say a woman who works at the apartment complex threw the party. They say she's likely to face charges. Now, police have 2 suspects identified and confiscated 2 guns they believe were involved in the incident, but they're still asking for witnesses to come forward so they can have a better idea of what could have led up to this shooting. Live near the Bend Apartments, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, thank you, Clarice. And here in Louisville, a man is dead after being shot in the Portland neighborhood Friday night. It happened around 10:40 last night near Flans Avenue and 34th Street. When officers arrived, they found a man who had been shot. The man did die at the scene. Officials say there are no known suspects at this time, and the LMPD homicide unit is leading the investigation. Anyone with information is encouraged to call the anonymous tip line. That number is 502-574-LMPD. An emotional end to the first trial in Crystal Rogers' death and disappearance, a decade in the making for the town of Bardstown, Kentucky. Yesterday, Steve Lawson was found guilty of his role in the killing of Crystal Rogers. It only took the jurors in Bowling Green 2 hours and 23 minutes to find Lawson guilty. Longtime former Nelson County Detective John Snow emotional outside of the courtroom yesterday, feeling a moment of relief, hugging people. He was there from the beginning, finally seeing the first round of justice. The recommended sentence of 17 years out of possible maximum of 25 years in prison. That's for Steve Lawson. He's guilty of conspiracy to commit the murder of Crystal Rogers and guilty of tampering with evidence in the case. Yesterday, WHAS 11 News legal analyst Nick Mudd of the Mudd Law Group told us they've got a good case for an appeal, since defense attorney Darren Wolf early on said he wasn't ready, only joining the Lawson case last August after Lawson fired his other attorney.
There is 400,000 pages of discovery, over 200 hours of interviews. If you work nonstop for a year on a single case, I don't know if you'd be able to review it all.
This trial is an important result for the family of Crystal Rogers. To this date, we still don't have a motive for her murder. But the next trial, starting Tuesday, June 24th, could finally bring an end to this tragedy for the Ballard family. Joseph Lawson is charged with the same 2 counts as his father, Steve: conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with evidence. We heard part of Joseph's alleged involvement in the case, his father claiming Joseph called him and requested help moving Crystal's car from the Bluegrass Parkway. And the chief suspect, Brooks Houck, will be tried with Joseph Lawson. Houck was Crystal Rogers' boyfriend at the time of her disappearance. The state is going to try and convince a jury that Houck is the main man behind Crystal's murder. He's also charged with tampering with evidence. You can hear more from Nick Mudd as he breaks down this trial, and we look ahead to the next trial on our Crystal Rogers digital special right now. That's on WHAS 11+. Our reporters also give the details from being inside that courtroom. In fact, our 26-minute special is going to be streaming right after this newscast on the free WHAS 11 Plus app. You can download it for free on your TV. We now know the name of the man who died in yesterday's deadly tornado in Washington County. KSP confirmed 48-year-old Ronnie Hill of Springfield was killed after the storm swept through. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said 14 people were injured in the Washington County tornado. The National Weather Service says the damage is from a powerful EF2 tornado. Long Run Road is expected to remain closed throughout the weekend to ensure safety for emergency personnel and residents directly affected by the tornado. Officials ask the public to avoid the area unless necessary. And new tonight, Congressman Morgan McGarvey held a town hall today to discuss how the Trump administration is targeting Social Security. Trump's Department of Government Efficiency has made deep cuts to the Office of Social Security Administration. DOGE has also requested access to sensitive Social Security data, which they say will allow them to root out waste and fraud. However, McGarvey, along with the former head of the Social Security Administration, said these cuts and demands have only made it more difficult for seniors to access their benefits, pushing back against claims the system is broken.
It's popular because it actually works. And we're Americans. We kind of like things that work. If we pay our taxes and we earn our benefits, we expect it to work and that somebody will answer the phone for us.
McGarvey says there are nearly 150,000 people in Louisville who receive Social Security benefits.